Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your magical moon message. Yes, I do need chapstick. This is the Peace Dealer, and we're here, y'all. We are here. This is a very important transit. We have reached the conclusion of this lunar cycle. I'm telling you, the synchronicities in Moon and Sag of the completion of this harvest was huge. So be very mindful of chance meetings with people who you might have connected with, insights you may have learned. All right? We are now in the process of grounding the totality of that. Courtesy of yours truly, you. Everything that you have completed the activation of relative to 3 weeks ago and 6 months from now, you will be presenting to other people. And the checkpoint is this summer, where we're going to deepen the sincere feeling of everything that you have activated as a part of who you are. First of all, you need to get fucking excited. You need to get super fucking excited. Because not only have you completed this cycle, we're evolving now. Remember, this entire cycle was an activation of evolution of your being. So we had the new moon, then we, based on the seeds we planted into the ground, in the moon in Cancer 90 degrees, they sprouted through the ground. And then during the full moon in Libra, we harvested these crops. So now that we have completed the harvest, moon in Capricorn, 270 degrees, which will happen in a day and a half from now, mathematically, we are still in the glow up period. So the sun is like 22 degrees on Jupiter. We're here, bitch. We're here, baby. I'm sorry I called you a bitch. I didn't mean to call you a bitch like that. But like, regardless of who you're watching, I said bitch as a compliment. Like, what's up, bitch? You know what I'm saying? What's up? All right, anyway, this is this. So we are still glowing up. And once we get to that 21, 22 degree moon in Cap, that's the official 10th house axis, square Jupiter. You are going to feel this level of evolution. And this is now grounding the ascended quality of actual power, the understanding of actual power you will now understand how to utilize. So let's say that the analogy of you completing this was you manually putting together a vehicle that represents your consciousness, right? Moon in Capricorn is now you putting that together. Let's break that even down further, because the harvest, which happened during the breakthrough of Libra, Scorpio, and Sag. Libra, Scorpio, and Sag is the breakthrough axis. The integration axis is Cancer, Leo, Virgo. One of the most important. And then the breakthrough is Libra, Scorpio, Sag, ascending you to the next level. So, relative to that, when you harvest crops, right? When you're finished harvesting those crops, you now have, relative to this analogy, barrels of your crops, because it's work to harvest them. You have to actually reap them. You have to go out into the field and reap what you sowed. So once you finish that, 10th house is you seeing all the barrels. We made 10 barrels of crops. That shows you the results for what you sowed. Then the 11th house, when the moon is in Aquarius, is like, all right, 2 barrels go to you. Mind you, 11th house is rewards from career. 11th house is associates, friends, right? From your career, from your vocation and legacy. So if you, of course, relative to Aries, you did this on your own, right? But 11th house is who belongs with you, who is going to share into your crops. The 8th house, moon in Scorpio, was drawing boundaries of, this is what I planted, so get your ass over there, versus I trust you. Then the 11th house comes through, and it's like, okay, we have 10 barrels. That was our results. You get 2, I take the rest. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how you divvy it up. Then the moon in Pisces comes through, and we transcend your understanding of yourself relative to the results you had. Then we start the new moon again at 29 degrees Aries. It's going to be huge. I know that's what she's, I know. But this is very, very important, because now that we are chancing up on the completion, you are about to see very powerfully the result. So imagine you harvest this, you bring this vehicle into form, right? And now that we are completing the formation of this vehicle and you finally harvested it and put it together, now you are evolving it. Like if we had Jupiter in the beginning of the sign, then when we planted the seeds, Jupiter would have expanded the quality of the seed. But we had it at the end. The timing of this is mind-blowing. Right now, as you watch this, Jupiter is starting its 12-year cycle on the sun. Every time Jupiter and the sun meet, it is a cycle of evolution, the likes of which you haven't seen. So we have just initialized the first out of 12 Sun Jupiters. The next Sun Jupiter we're going to have is in Taurus. Fucking great. It's going to be on Uranus. All right, so we're going to have the Sun Jupiter Aries now. Then we're going to have the Sun on Libra opposite Jupiter. Well, no, Sun in Scorpio opposite Jupiter in Taurus. Then we're going to have the Sun Jupiter Taurus. Then we're probably going to have Sun in Sagittarius opposite Jupiter and Gemini. Then, of course, Sun, Gemini, Jupiter. And we're going to do that process again like 9 more times until we come back into Aries. So the reason why I want to talk about this, the last time we did something like this was 2011, 2010. I became the peace dealer 2011. So I'm just letting you know what I'm saying? Like this is that type of cycle, okay? Like this is literally taking you off a new adventure towards the evolution of your consciousness and identity. And for this to happen during the completion of this transit, it's gonna get super fucking real, y'all. You have just completed harvesting your vehicle. Now it's time to use that vehicle. You mastered the understanding of how to activate this moon in Virgo. Now we're extending this collectively in Capricorn for using the vehicle. Pause for dramatic effect. Don't worry, the drama's coming. Leo season is approaching. But before we get there, this is it, yo. I don't think you know this is it, because this isn't just some simple evolution. All right, we got Chiron in this bitch. We also have Saturn in Pisces that the moon will initially sextile so that you can complete your understanding of the nature of your current beliefs and how the completion of this transit pushes forward the completion of how you are transcending who you see yourself as. So we initially had the moon conjunct Saturn. Remember, I think in Aquarius or maybe in Pisces. Then we had the moon sextile. Yeah, I think it was in Pisces. Then we had the moon sextile. Could have been in Aqua. Taurus. We had the moon sextile Saturn in Taurus. So we had Saturn in Pisces and the opening sextile in Taurus. Well, this is the closing sextile, right? The opening sextile is going to open our door into the experience. Relative to this, we were opening the door to manifesting values relative to what we believe. Obviously, I believe that I'm a sexy unicorn. So this enabled me to open up values saying that, I'm a sexy unicorn, and so I'm able to be magical as I want to be. This is a value. Now we're closing the door, taking the completion of all these beliefs practiced through society, so it's not just in our heads. And now in closing this door, it's like, yep, I am that unicorn. I am him. I've just proved it throughout this cycle, and it's reinforcing what I believe. It's also going to adjust because 11th house to this is giving you the results. So this is a huge transit, y'all. There's really no Moon and Cap gang. Shout out to the gangster soul. Moon and Cap gang. Gangster souls are Saturn moons, but still, if you're a Moon and Cap, you're amongst the elites, the elite souls. Everyone knows the elite souls are Cap moon, Aqua moon, and Pisces moon, and sometimes Sag moon. We see y'all too. So the reason why this is very important is because this is literally bringing all together the completion of everything that you've not only prepared to evolve, This is initializing the actual evolution, and this boost is getting ready to guide you into Taurus season, where we will now manifest on our physical body this evolution of consciousness. You're going to come into considerable grounded, hyper real insight on what and how to use these powers, on the actual utilization of these powers, on this awareness of the expansion of your identity. I mean, I even experienced this, and experiences that expanded my mind unexpectedly, that kind of challenged me to be comfortable at this next level. All right. And personally, and I'm going to tell you how I met a new friend in my apartment, and I'm still not really smoking, but I got to hit a dab, and I hadn't necessarily hit a dab in a long ass time, and forever, and that shit got me high as fuck, y'all. I was fine, like, and it hit me like, oh my gosh, this is Sun Jupiter. I'm expanding the capacity of how my tolerance used to be, or how high I used to be, and that was the way I used to see it. It's like, okay, this is this next level of being high, and it humbled the fuck out of me, but it helped me see, okay, this is how Sun Jupiter, this is an example of it. So, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot higher than I used to be. And this is also going to represent the expansion of the actions you individualize in taking your character farther than you've ever taken it. So be mindful of opportunities that will present itself. Once again, the sun at 21, 22 degrees is mathematically in relationship with the moon ascending until the moon gets to 22 degrees Capricorn. And once the moon comes into the third decan, that's it. You will officially have completed everything. This is the point where it's like, okay, this is my power. This is me. And remember, this is tied into the evolution of your character. Aries is really your identity. But the way I want you to see this is also new moon, new superpowers. New superpowers attached to your identity. So by the time we get into Virgo season, you're mastering these superpowers. By the time we get into Libra season, you're performing it towards other people to build your clique, because we back in Guild Wars, baby. We back in Guild Wars. You might be getting recruited and shit. So I just want to curse my bad. So what's really important about this is you are completing a new ability you have activated. Bow. Integrated. Bow. And harvested. Bow. Bow, 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 bow. This is where a lot's going to click. You're going to take into insight, especially as the moon will go over Pluto or awakening and review, a lot of what has led you to this moment. It's going to give you a very grounded, unconventional with the trine to Uranus approach towards taking supernatural elements, abstract elements, metaphysical elements of you and your power, and making it as real as ABC 1, 2, 3, you and me, elementary, so that a kid could get it, breaking down metaphysical scientific principles as if this was easy as learning how to do algebra. I said algebra, what the fuck is wrong with me? Trigonometry, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like regular addition, because algebra is evil, and calculus too is the devil. So other than that, you know what I'm saying? You want to get very excited about this. By the time the moon goes into Aquarius, you're using your superpowers. So the moon in Aquarius is going to help you understand, who is my gang? You're going to use your powers. You're going to be like, that's gang. And then you're going to see gang across the street like, woo, gang shit. And then you're both going to use your powers, and then you're going to belong together. So you're literally on the verge of linking with your gang. Okay. Shout out to Infinity Gang, Infinity Clan Gang, Infinity Clique, Infinity Club. All right. Shout out to my infinites, my infinity years, that in completing this transit will understand their identity as an infinite. As an infinity year that doesn't even need a bank. Like our subconscious minds are the banks, and we can draw anything from it. Well, it's going to be a transit like this that's going to take that from a concept that you see philosophically in Sag to something you actually use. And that's why the sextile to Saturn in Pisces will empower and strengthen these beliefs, so your dreams are not just dreams. Just do it! You stay blessed. And as you complete this understanding of the integrity behind who the fuck you are and the completion of you actually utilizing these new abilities and powers, I hope you realize that what you reap is what you sow, and you got yourself here. So if you're in a position you don't want to be, just change the story. Some of you are literally like, oh, I don't like that this is happening or that's happening. Just change the story. I used to be skeptical. It is literally that easy. Just start focusing on what it is you want and watch that shit happen. And if it doesn't, as quick as you want, persist like you persisted in what you don't want to happen. Godspeed. Peace.